All right, great evening, beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. We are so very excited to have each and every one of you on with us today. You guys know how we get this party started every Sunday that we are live for Boss Live. Go ahead and drop in the chat. I see you. Great evening. Good evening. Tell us where you are joining us from. Remember, we are here for a wonderful, impactful time, not a long time. So we're going to jump right in and get this party started. Great evening, Boss Houston. It's so great to have you on tonight. We know that some of the weather's been crazy in her area, y'all. So make sure that when weather and things are happening, we're checking on our people. Check on your folks. So again, great evening, great evening. Go ahead and drop in the chat for me. We're making boss moves. We're making boss moves. And tonight is another opportunity for us to learn just some quick nuggets, some quick tips, some quick tricks to enhance our toolbox, folks, where we can walk into the week and continue to make those boss moves. We have an amazing guest up tonight, and I'm not going to prolong the time with us bringing that on, but listen, I want you to be reminded that we've got to train ourselves to find the positive. So if you will, meet me in the chat. Drop something that went well last week. I have so many educator friends who are in the full swing of school, and school is already happening, right? But even with school already happening, there are great things happening in your house, right? Personally or professionally. Drop in the chat for me something that's going really well or something that went well for you on last week. Again, we want to train our brains to begin with praise breaks. Listen, when I was in a building, and even now when I'm helping support other buildings, and even my one-on-one coaching that I do for executive level ladies, right, outside of education, we always begin with a praise break. We've got to train our brains to seek the good, right? To seek the good so we can replicate the good, so we can duplicate the good. So again, drop those things in the chat for us as we're getting started. I am getting ready to bring my guest up tonight, y'all, because we want to get right into it. We are going to jump right into it. We are talking about artificial intelligence tonight, AI. Here we go. And I have none other than Mr. Kyle McDill joining us tonight. Listen, can I tell you, he is the guru in this part of the country on AI. And so we are so privileged to have him. Mr. McDill, how are you doing this evening?
Doing well, Dr. Nelson. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for being here. And yeah, thanks for this conversation.
Absolutely. So, y'all, let me tell you a little bit about Mr. McDill. He is an education professional, an AI enthusiast, and a technology advocate dedicated to pushing the boundaries. Listen, it's time that we do that. If we're going to be boss, we got to push some boundaries, right? Pushing the boundaries of instructional technology and bridging the digital divide in teacher training. He is currently a project manager for Mississippi State University's Research and Curriculum Unit, where he focuses on curriculum development, particularly in the computer science pathways, and integrates advanced technology like AI and VR, right? Virtual reality, folks, to enhance both education and workplace development. Kyle firmly believes that AI and VR are transformative tools, y'all, that can prepare education into the future. As a former middle school educator, and university educator, he blends his expertise in geosciences, AI, VR, and digital storytelling to create engaging and accessible educational content. And also, y'all, he's an avid outdoorsman. I don't know if you see that stuff behind him, like he's all over the world hiking and stuff, right? So we are so, and even having done a through hike on the Appalachian Trail, which was an experience that continues to fuels his mission to inspire growth and resilience. Again, we are so critically just elated to have you here with us tonight. So let's get this party started. Let's get it started. I want you guys go in the chat, meet us in the chat. I kind of want to know before we get started. Here is a statement, a question. AI is close to cheating. Do you agree or disagree with that? Come on, folks, in the chat, meet us in the comments. And I say this because you guys know what I say every week on Boss Moves. our beliefs drive our behaviors, right? And so, as we are talking about AI or any change initiative that may come our way in our world, personally or professionally, we've got to step back for a moment to ask ourselves to reflect. Remember, as boss educators and boss ladies living, queens and kings living, we keep our mirror and our grace with us, but we got to start there. What do you believe about AI? I see you, boss Houston is saying, you know what? I disagree with that. I don't believe that AI is close to cheating. All right, Mr. McDill, here we go. We're going to get the party started right here. What are some myths or untruths that you often hear with AI? Because you are all over the place training, coaching, modeling around AI. What are some of the myths or untruths that you normally walk into when you get ready to start training?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is kind of the first question that you touched on is cheating, laziness, not having essential skills, shortcuts. Those are usually the things that I hear from educators all around that's their biggest concern when we talk about AI ethics. I think some of those are myth truths just because they don't quite understand exactly what it is and how you can use it to enhance education. So that's what I hope to do whenever I do get in front and are able to talk to educators and help them see that these can be tools to help us make us more efficient and enhance these engaging parts of education where we're trying to get to our students.
So let's say you're in a training and somebody says, "Oh no, we won't go. It's cheating." What is the first thing you say to them? Like you look them in the face and you say what?
So I always, so if you've ever seen me speak, I use a interactive presentation software. So I always put them on the board. So I get them on the board. That way they can't be taken away, right? So once they're up there, and I simply ask them, what are the issues that you see with AI ethics in your own classroom? And we always get cheating, plagiarism, those type of things. But the thing that I say is, okay, take away AI and take away AI ethics. Did those things exist before, or did AI create it? And I think that's what we have to get our minds around is these are issues that were in education before with students that we always had. And AI is just a tool that's made it very much more visual and easy for students to take these shortcuts. And so that's kind of how I approach it.
All right, here we go. We're jumping in. So let's say I've gotten to the roadblock. Okay, you've convinced me. Maybe it's not cheating, but I don't know anything about AI. Help me understand, first of all, what is AI, number one, and then how can it help me whether I'm a busy parent or professional? So, first, what is AI? Explain it to us. What is AI?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting how much we use it in every day. It's just a algorithm, a learning algorithm. And the first example most people have already been interacting with for many times years, and they just don't know it, is your social media algorithm. So as you scroll through social media or your Netflix recommendations, those things are algorithms that learn what you like. And so that's kind of what AI is. It's not necessarily this machine that's going to take over the world or things like that. It's simply a tool that you can utilize for certain tasks. So it's trained on certain content, and then you can replicate it, much like predictive text. Think of it as a very advanced predictive text or very advanced Grammarly, which most teachers are already using.
This is facts. So, I'm a busy parent. What can AI do for me as a busy parent?
Yeah, so there are programs, and actually, if parents now juggle many things and wear many different hats, and with homework and assignments and things like that that are sent, sometimes we don't have time to sit and actually go through. But with some of this software, we can actually send study bots, we can send remediation software home to their devices, and like I said, in an enclosed and contained kind of situation where you can see their input, see their output, and their parameters on it. And so it's like a 24/7 tutor, so to speak. And for a parent, I think that's very beneficial because you can actually pass it on to the parent and enhance the parent skills to actually help the student with their homework because they don't have the time to sit down and maybe go through a book, but they do have their cell phone in their hand. If they could get to it like that, then makes it accessible for anybody and everyone.
So, how about if I am an administrative assistant And let's say I work for somebody like an Ingalls shipbuilding, right? I'm an administrative assistant. How can AI help me with my productivity and my time management?
Yeah, this is something that's actually very interesting too, because if you've been watching the Olympics, and like the Olympics are amazing, so I hope you have been watching them. You've actually seen some commercials for Copilot, Google Gemini, and these are workspaces that we use email, PowerPoint presentations, Word documents. And so these AI features that are being embedded into this will actually help you as an administrative assistant with emails and organizing. You can prompt these AIs within your email to actually help you make and craft better and more professional emails a lot quicker. It's very hard for the human mind to come up with words and just kind of type it out. And so this is kind of a predictive text. You can kind of break down in bullet points what you want to say. It can follow your feed on your email, and it can actually help you craft a better email. And so communication skills can actually enhance through this, or building data analytics with spreadsheets. It can actually teach you to do formulas and help you organize these worksheets better for, or worksheets better for data aggregation or longitudinal data movement, data analytics, all of
Mhm.
those things. So it really can help you on any aspect of work, from machine learning, some kind of technical skill, to administrative work. That's a great question too. Great question.
So one of the things, I really help organizations around change management, anything culture, right? So a lot of businesses and organizations call me when they're having a hard time with people buying into a new initiative in the organization, right? And so last month, I was asked to come and speak at our state superintendent's conference, and I was speaking to administrators from all over the state on this exact topic of AI, right? And I mentioned to them this same thing, and you've said it multiple times: prompt engineering. What do you mean by prompt engineering, and what do people need to know as it relates to the effectiveness of AI and prompt engineering? Again, what is prompt engineering? What are you talking about? Tell us.
Yeah, so prompt engineering, to relate it to what we already know, it's basically just giving a command or giving a task, asking a question. So through AIs, the way you interact with most AIs, whether it be Chat GPT, Google Gemini, Eduway.ai, MagicSchool.ai, you're going to have to prompt the system, prompt the tool to be able to create. You have to give it an input in order to give an output. And so I always do an example of, all right, poorly describe what your job is. You know, with teachers, it can be, oh, I babysit many adults and tell them what to do. And so you get these kind of funny situations, but then I tie that into a prompt. If you put that into an AI, could it figure out what your job was? And usually it's no, because it's not detailed enough. So I like 4 steps of prompts, or asking questions or building these tasks. Start with a basic command, basic prompt, and then detail it a little bit more, then maybe make it more complex. And then the last step would be an advanced prompt. And so this is giving it multiple tasks or multi-step tasks. But basically, for example, with ChatGPT, you could ask it to help you create a lesson plan for students of a certain age with a certain particular standard that you've pulled off of a state curriculum, and it can craft that to your student very, very quickly. But the better the prompt, the better the lesson is going to be, or the better the output's going to be. So if it's just very generic, like create a lesson plan on AI in education, it's going to give you something just generic. But if you do that, put a standard in, maybe give it task, or an assessment or a rubric even, then it can build that around your input, and then it gives you this great information back, very organized in a very timely manner.
So I really want our listeners to zone into this. If you are new to AI, or you're thinking about, I want to start using it, I want to go ahead and encourage you to get your prompt engineering game up, right? That is the key. As a former math teacher, and still a math teacher, y'all, math coach, like, it's critically important. I would tell students, you got the calculator, but if you don't know what to put in it, how is that going to help you get closer to the answer, right? And so it's the same
Absolutely.
thing with AI. Like, you've got this tool, but if you don't know how to properly interact and input with the tool, you know, you're not going to get your absolute best results from it, right? So
And
again,
can I interject just a second, Dr. Nelson? I always tell all the teachers that they're the actual experts. The AI is just the tool to manifest their expertise, right? So it can't create amazing lessons without the expertise that our teachers have in our head, right? So it won't happen. And so that's one thing that I always try to get across to our teachers.
so you guys know we always need your help. Make sure that you've liked this video, you've shared it. Remember, we are all about sharing the good stuff. All right, Mr. McDill, so tell us this. I am someone I've never interacted with AI. I've never used AI. What is the first place or the first tool or app or website that you would encourage me to go around and start playing with? Because again, you get better with using these things by digging in. So what would be one of your maybe top one or two, even three resources that you would encourage people to go to just start exploring some of the things that AI can help you with? Actual websites, apps, tools.
Yeah, I think if there's one tool platform that I could tell teachers to surf, to go out and surf and see if it can help them in some way. Magic School AI is a very good platform to do a lot of different things. It's a free platform, and that's a great place to start building prompts. I haven't heard about Alpha School. I see that in the comments, where they learn for AI 2 hours a day, but that's something that's emerging. It's especially with more guided practice. Is AI is doing the guided practice and independent practice as well. It helps students with independent practice. But yeah,
So if I'm a parent, I'm a non-educator, where would be a place that you would say, hey, go over there and start checking it out there?
so what's really interesting is now, especially here in Mississippi, we have some educational institutions that have combined to create like beginner courses for teachers, parents, just for people to start understanding about AI. That that organization is the Mississippi AI Network, Maine, and you can find that on Twitter. You can find it on Facebook, Instagram, but it offers great tools for K through 12 teachers, parents, students to learn the basics of how AI works, how AIs are built, and what they can be used for. Very basic information, very basic.
Gotcha. So let's say you have a school that's ready to jump in to, they've used Chat GPT. And I tell people, like, that's one of those quick, if you have somebody that says, like, I don't know where to start, like, okay, you can always think, pair, Chat GPT, share, think, and recycle that, right? That's just a simple starting from where you are to start infusing some of it. But let's say you have a school that says they've been using Chat GPT, they've been using, the quizzes, AI infused, all of these things. And they're like, all right, we kind of want to lean into some VR-ish. What would you recommend for schools that are ready to start exploring learning options with VR?
Yeah, so VR is amazing, and when AI starts to really get into VR, we're really going to see some amazing things. But there are a few different companies that offer different simulations, from K through 12 simulations, and also like workforce development for career technical ed. I have the privilege of working with two different companies. I work with Transfer VR on the ARC, that's Appalachian Regional Commission grant through the Research and Curriculum Unit. And so we get to use workforce development. It goes into middle schools for career exploration. It goes into the high schools in CTE pathways like health science, electrical, architecture. And these are modules, simulations that students can use. And it also is very safe because it's a controlled environment, it's immersive, and it's gamified in a lot of ways because students love gamification.
Absolutely.
Another company in Mississippi that works with many schools is Labaki. They create virtual simulations for K through 12 schools and also CTE, and we've worked with them on curriculum development and a few other projects. So those are great companies that are doing really amazing work in VR right now.
I love it. Any other thoughts you have for the folks tonight on jump starting their journey with AI, to increase productivity and, enhance what they're doing either personally or professionally?
And one thing I would, if I had to throw one disclaimer out there, it would be for especially with teachers and schools because we deal with student data. I always try to point teachers to something that's FERPA compliant and that you can utilize to personalize student learning, but it's also safe for that student data. And that's why I did mention Magic School. If there are districts out there, teachers out there that are utilizing Chat GPT, I think Chat GPT is a wonderful tool, just like Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. But Chat GPT is not FERPA compliant. And so if you're using any type of student data, especially for data analytics or anything like that, you really want to anonymize anything that you're putting into Chat GPT as far as your data, student data, anything like that. I think that's one disclaimer
Mhm.
that I would say just for that.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. McDill, you have been awesome. We appreciate you jumping on. Remember, folks, we are here for a short time, impactful time, not a long time. And speaking of that, we hope that you have secured your copy of Boss Moves. Y'all, we have officially hit over 1,000 copies sold in 1 month, which is really a big deal in this author space. So we're excited about that. We have schools daily now who are ordering bulk orders and the Boss PD to go with it. So that's been going really well. So if you are interested and you need supports around school climate, school culture, positive leadership, remember we are here. And I want to encourage you guys that you've got the power to go into your schools, to go into your organizations this week and to make bold, optimistic, spontaneous, and substantial moves. Somebody is not going to become the best version of themselves unless you walk in bright and early in the morning making those boss moves. Again, so go ahead and just drop that in the chat right now. I'm making boss moves this week, baby. That is what we are doing. We are the right people at this right time for this very important mission of helping our world become a better, sweeter place. Remember, one word, one kind act, one deed, one lesson, right? One transaction at a time. We are wishing you guys the most amazing week ever. You guys don't ever forget, go be boss.